Hello and welcome to Shifting the Atmosphere with Federica, where I talk to ordinary people doing some extraordinary things. I'm your host, Federica Peterson. I'm a certified executive and life coach, business mentor, best-selling author, and adjunct professor. I'm here to partner with you in your transition journey to help build your confidence, elevate your thinking, and shift your perspective to empower you to cast a new vision and redefine what's possible. Or in other words, shift your atmosphere. The topic for our show today is But God. What happens when life lands us a blow we weren't expecting? When our life takes such a turn, it can make us wonder, where's God in all of this? And why would he let this happen to me? You can't even see beyond all the chaos. It looks like you can't recover from this setback, but God. My guest today knows what this is all about, and she's eager to tell her story to encourage someone today. She's going to tell you not to be too quick to handle those moments on your own, or to let your emotional state drive your actions, because you just might kill a dream in the making. Vanessa Brantley Newton was born during the Civil Rights Movement and attended school in Newark, New Jersey. Being part of a diverse, tight-knit community during such turbulent times, Vanessa learned the importance of acceptance and empowerment in shaping a young person's life. When she read Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats, it was the first time she saw herself in a children's book. It was a defining moment in her life and has made her into the artist she is today. As an illustrator, she includes children of all ethnic backgrounds in her stories and artwork. She wants all children to see their unique experiences reflected in the books they read, so they can feel the same sense of empowerment and recognition she experienced as a young reader. Vanessa celebrates self-love and acceptance of all cultures through her work and hopes to inspire young readers to find their own voices. She first learned to express herself as a little girl through song. Growing up in a musical family, Vanessa's parents taught her how to sing to help her overcome her stuttering. Each night, the family would gather to make music together, with her mom on piano, her dad on guitar, and Vanessa and her sister Coy singing the blues, gospel, spirituals, and jazz. Now, whenever she illustrates, music fills the air and finds its way into her heart. The children she draws can be seen dancing, wiggling, and moving freely across the page in an expression of happiness. Music is a constant celebration, no matter the occasion, and Vanessa hopes her illustrations bring joy to others with the same magic of a beautiful melody.
Vanessa, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here today.
I am so excited to be here. This is awesome.
Oh, man, this has been some time coming. I'm glad that I finally got to reach out to you and we were able to coordinate our schedules, because you have some journey. And before I take up any more of your time, tell us, because it's the rite of passage for all of my guests that join the show. They tell us the journey of how you got where you are today. So please share.
I will tell you that I've been an artist since I was 3 years old. I knew what I wanted to be from the time I was a kid. But if you're African American and you tell your parents that you want to be an artist, there are two reactions. Either they faint, or either they just come right out and tell you, baby, that's not going to happen for you. Black people can't be artists. And you're not moving in with me. If anything happens, we got to get you one of them jobs where you're going to have some kind of life after, life. So I will tell you that I worked as a phlebotomist for many years while I went to school at FIT for fashion. And it was during a time where black people just did not get jobs in the fashion industry. So it was kind of hard to break in there. But I kept persevering. And got married to an awesome man, and ended up at a fabulous church with wonderful people. And I will tell people you need that when you're going on your journey. And met up with some wonderful people, but all along still knowing that I wanted to do illustration in some kind of fashion. So I was taking these little courses, and my husband and my daughter would literally put me in the car, drive me across the bridge over to SVA, which is the School of Visual Arts, where I would take these classes in children's book illustration. And my teacher said, you're really good at this. Why don't you kind of look into this? Now, this is so funny because my husband lost his job as an aeronautics engineer and could not find work. And it was just hard. When I tell you hard, you don't even have to add time to it. It was just hard.
Wow.
And we didn't have money, and I had to do something. I said, you know what, I'm going to take these skills that I have here in illustration, I'm going to put them to work. So I started working on a portfolio, put a portfolio together, had my dining room table covered with artwork. We couldn't eat on the table. I remember my husband constantly coming to me saying, hey, girl, clear this table. We got to eat. And I'm like, dude, we ain't got no money to eat. What are you talking about?
Right.
Why are you so concerned about eating?
Right.
We ain't got no money, to eat. But anyway, he put up with me with this table full of artwork, and I mean, it was piling up. And I had a very good friend of mine, very dear friend, come over, and she said, I'm going to pray with you, because that's what we do. That's what we do. We pray and we don't faint. And she came by and she said, V, she looked at the table and she said, I never knew that you were an artist. And I was like, oh, yeah, girl, I've been drawing for years. And she said, we never talked about what each other did. She said, do you know who I work for? And I'm like, I have not a clue. And I was really embarrassed because, it was just something that we just never brought up.
Yeah.
And she said, I work for Scholastic Books, Vanessa. You're hired.
What?
And I have been working in children's books ever since. Her name is Karen Proctor. She was an editor over at Scholastic Books for many years. She has now since has her own publication. But, it was opportunity and preparation met, kissed, and had a baby called Success over me.
I love that. What is it now? Success and what? Kissed and had a baby?
Opportunity and preparation met each other, kissed and had a baby over me called Success.
I love that. I love that. Oh, my God. That's awesome. That is awesome. Mm-hmm. Now, that's only one of the things that you do, Vanessa, for those that don't know all of Vanessa's story. I know many of you may have seen her illustrations and maybe postings on Facebook and maybe even picked up a couple of her books, but she also has an amazing voice. And some of you out there may know that, and others of you may not. Some of you may remember seeing her on that Mary show when they were doing the they had that contest. Vanessa won. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But her and her sister Coy have an amazing voices, like what you've never heard before in your life. You almost feel like you've been transported to heaven. And my God, Vanessa, what goes on in that arena? Are you still pursuing that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is so much that we can do with our voices. I mean, we have the great C.C. Winans, and we have the Yolanda Adams, and different people that we know that have these awesome voices. Some of my favorites, Jill Scott, Anthony Hamilton, and, you almost want to say the market is so saturated with these awesome singers. What new can I do? What can I really bring to the table? And it's really about discovering your voice, about what you can bring to the creative table. And I found that I loved, as a child, listening to golden records. And there was this man that would come on the golden records. He would take you to Toyland. It was actually, the album was called Babes in Toyland. And he would come on and he would tell me stories and he would sing songs. And, I mean, I'm 53 years old. I still remember, Haluna, Haluna, fee, fi, fo, to the land of toys, I wish to go. And literally, he would, I was transformed or transported there in my head through voice. And so now what I want to do with my voice, besides sing gospel and do jazz, I literally want to use it for audio. I want to use it for voiceovers.
Like for
and
audible
for
books,
speaking,
like
that type of thing now. So I'm finding myself now, I'm doing little parts on albums. I am using my voice to tell my stories on videotape for children to read at night. For the parent who's just too tired to read to your child, put me in and let me read to your child. So, and let me sing over them. And so it's a different venue, but I still get to use that voice.
Oh, yeah, and I love that idea. Even as you're saying, like as a nighttime story for children, because you really can transport people through your voice and your inflection and the way that you tell the story in ways that may not be able to come across in word, in just looking at the printed word. So I love that.
I have so many parents that tell me, I could never read the book like you read it. And that's why I'm there to do it. I'm there to do it on CD-ROM, where you can just put it in and you and your kid can get a story. I tell parents all the time, you get to do a do-over for a lot of African-American children who were raised in the ghetto like I was. Our parents were just too butt-bone tired and too irritated and too just caught up with life to take moments to read to us, unfortunately. And I think that young parents right now, this is a way to really connect with your children and get them to love books, is to take that time and just, cut out all the games and stuff like that and get them into a reading regimen where you guys play roles. Let them read to you and you read to them. It is a moment, I'm telling you, it's such a great payoff afterwards. It's just awesome. Awesome.
Yes, that's amazing. I love to hear that. That is so creative, Vanessa. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that for sure. And I know you go around and do not only book signings, but book readings, like you were saying. People can find you at certain arts and crafts festivals and things like that. Vanessa pops up everywhere. Before we take a break, she's going to tell you how you can get in touch with her. But before we got to all this wonderful, the contract with Scholastic and all these wonderful things that are starting to happen now. I know you did, I think, a book with Tori Spelling, if I remember correctly, as well.
Yes. My goodness, that was back in 2009, working with celebrities, and now that's what I do. I tend to work on a lot of celebrity books. As a matter of fact, I am working on a book with Virginia Wallace, who was the first Black Annie.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes.
Yes, and she did a book, and the name of the book is called My Night Out with Mama. And literally, I'm sitting in my office right now going over the proofs for the book right now, and it's beautiful. But
so you're doing the illustration. You're doing all the illustrations.
Yes, I'm doing the illustrations for the book.
Beautiful.
And it's written by Virginia. She wrote it herself. And it just tells her story about going to the Oscars. And so it's a very dress-up story about how we adorn ourselves for special occasions and how she and her mother really go out on this night on the town. Limousine comes and picks them up. They go to the Oscars. They meet people. And even though she doesn't win an Oscar, she gets to experience what it is to be in the audience and what it's like to get dressed and to be treated in royal fashion. So that's really important.
So when is that coming out? I guess early 2017 or so?
This is coming out early 2017. As a matter of fact, my editor just emailed me and told me, can you hurry up and get those things done because they want to take it to press now. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a great book. It really is.
That's awesome. Oh, my gosh. Yes. That is phenomenal. So, all right, so now we're going back up. Because we all know there's a journey to get to when you get to the highs, there's the lows. It's the ebbs and the flows of life that make it interesting, right? That make it interesting. And so I want you to tell us about your But God moment. Because, the title of our segment is But God. And I know you have some story and some journey that you've traveled in the midst of all that success, right? So tell us about your But God moment.
I will tell you, people see the glory, but they don't know the story.
Yes, girl.
And they really don't. You see me, but you don't know me. And you see me, but you really don't see me.
Yeah.
My But God moment, it will be a year in January when this all happened. But I did a book with Scholastic Books, and it did not go well at all. This book was called A Birthday Cake for George Washington, and this is actually my second time actually speaking on it because it's been very painful, to say the least. I was censored through my artwork, basically. I was thrown under the bus, over the bus, around the bus, through the bus. It was crazy. And what really should have made me bitter made me better, and that was by choice. But to say that it was not a hotbed of hatred from my own people from people I didn't know, and that's the thing about the Internet. You know, I was listening to something that Denzel Washington said. He said that first we like to be the first ones to get the information and put it out there. We don't really care if it's true. We don't really care if it's relevant or anything. Let me just be the first one to put it out there. And we don't think about the people that it's going to affect.
Right.
And this story about George Washington's birthday cake got put out because Scholastic was doing it. And the author of the book wrote this story, said that she had really did some study about the book or about the person Hercules for many years. Now, Hercules was the slave of George Washington. It was his favorite slave. And he was his favorite slave because George did not have teeth. He had wooden teeth. Basically, what they would do is they would knock out, or either they would collect the teeth of a slave, and they would put it into a wooden gum of sorts to put into his mouth so that he could chew his food. Hercules was this awesome cook. And what he would do is he would prepare mush and different things that Washington could eat for dinner. Well, the story goes there was no sugar in the kitchen one day, and he and his daughter, Delia, were in the kitchen and they could not find sugar. Martha Washington, by history, was not the nicest person to slaves, actually hated slaves, basically wanted to have him carted off, basically, because he ran away so many times. I'm speaking of Hercules. And she came down to the kitchen and wanted to know, was he working on his birthday cake? And they couldn't find any sugar, but they couldn't tell her. So they go to, I'm saying this very fast, they go to the closet and they find this closet full of honey. And they decide to make a honey cake, which ultimately becomes George Washington's favorite cake. Now, the problem with this book was there were smiling Negroes. Oh, yes. Smiling Negroes through the book, which set everybody off. You name it. I had Black Lives Matter come out after me. I had several different divisions of people come out after me and literally pitchfork, we're ready to kill you. One woman said, I hope that they lynch your behind, and so on and so forth. If I could just really go into it, it was horrible. Horrible was not even the word. I didn't know that we could be so mean and evil, honestly.
Wow. And you know what? I hate to say it. I got to stop you there. But we're going to pick this story up when we come back from the break, because I just am in shock right now that there was such a reaction. And I know that there was a whole reason that the slaves, you know, you had to illustrate them that way. And I'm going to let you tell that story. But we're going to take a quick break. So before we do, I want you to tell folks how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, you can reach me at Vanessa Brantley Newton.com, or you can reach me on my blog, which I'd love for you to visit, called Ooh La La, that's OHLALA, designstudio.blogspot.com.
Okay, great. We're going to be back in just a moment. You're listening to Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica, and I'm here today with my guest, Vanessa Brantley Newton. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, this is Frederica Peterson, host of Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica. Join me every Monday at 5 p.m. as I talk to ordinary people doing some extraordinary things. So if you need a dose of inspiration, motivation, healing, or direction, I guarantee you'll find it here. My guests have some incredible stories of perseverance, determination, and resilience that are sure to give you the perspective and insights, and even the skills that are going to help you shift your atmosphere. On social media, I'd love for you to connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Frederica Peterson. Or to learn more about the show or how to contact me, visit www.shiftingtheatmosphere.net.
We're back. You're listening to Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica, and I'm here today with my guest, Vanessa Brantley Newton, and she is talking about some challenges that she faced during the time that she was doing a book. Her very first book, I believe, was Scholastic. And where we left off, the book had been released, and there were some images that people had reacted really strongly to. And Vanessa, I'm going to let you go ahead and pick it up from here.
Yeah, so basically they were very upset about the book, and it was because it had smiling black slaves in the book. So in other words, why were these slaves smiling? Are they smiling because they're happy to be slaves? And I had a problem with the whole idea of having slaves until I was enlightened. And I know a lot of people don't understand what kind of enlightenment would you have. And this was the enlightenment. That we as a people degrade or degraded even more when we say that we did not have moments, or our families did not have moments where they smiled at their children with hope. That one day, baby, you're not going to be a slave. One day, baby, you're not going to have to work the field. One day, baby, you ain't going to have to plow this field all day long. It wasn't that they were happy being slaves. But then again, this was George Washington, and a bit of prestige came with that. They were treated a little bit better than other slaves in that Hercules, he wore better clothes. He ate better food. He slept in a better place. Not because he wanted to be a slave. The man ran away several times.
Right.
And then was punished by having his daughter or having his wife and son removed from him. So there was no real joy here, but there was a pride in what he did. He was able to cook and make food that people loved, and that put a sense of pride into him. Not that he was prideful for being a slave. He wasn't happy being a slave. But there was a certain amount of pride that came with what he did. And what we do is we degrade ourselves as a people even more, dehumanize ourselves even more when we say we didn't smile. When Kunta Kinte takes Kizzy out under the stars at night, this secret ceremony that had been handed down to him for many years, this man was proud that he had a baby. And he takes her up, and he holds her up to the sky and says, "Behold, the only thing greater than yourself." What a moment of pride that even in slavery, they're not going to take all my joy. They're not going to take all my peace. They're not going to take all my happiness. That belongs to me.
And it took you a minute to get to that revelation, if I remember when we were talking about this story. You didn't immediately portray them as smiling. You had to get yourself to a place where you could even go deeper, as you're explaining now, to understand the depths of where that might come from. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because I was one-dimensional, too. The only thing I'm thinking is, slavery is a hard time, and it was. Oh, this is not good. I need people to really understand that, Frederica, is that Vanessa's not playing down slavery. And I'm not playing into the hands of white people to say that, slavery wasn't so bad for the Negroes. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But that was their life.
But just the same, we are resilient, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Who are able to overcome all kinds of adversity. And people will not know because they don't want to read any further, that I lost two of my relatives in the Charleston 9 shooting. I lost Miss Sally Johnson. I lost my cousin, Sharonda Coleman. I lost two people in that. See, this is the thing that people don't get. We purport things that we don't know. We don't wait till we hear the whole story. We hear half of the story and we deliver it. And so you're only getting half truths. You're only getting half of the thing instead of going to the source and saying, listen, I really want to hear from you. And at the time, being honest, people were not willing to sit and listen. They didn't even want to hear reason.
Yeah.
Which really cuts us down, and now we don't even have dialogue, because this book could have been a vehicle for dialogue. Let's talk about this. The sad part is the book did get pulled, but I learned so much from it. Oh my God, I learned so much.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, because I can't imagine. I mean, your artwork is so personal. When anybody that I know that is an artist, their artwork is an extension of them.
Yes.
And so I can't imagine what that felt like, to be ridiculed and blamed and, just completely rejected by your people without understanding, without even being given an opportunity to, like you are right now, being able to explain and maybe just somebody maybe ask you the question, you know, maybe to stop and think, I wonder why she may have portrayed him that way, versus assuming that it was whatever it was. And that's very limited thinking. And I think that that's a challenge that we have in America, period, right now.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't ask enough questions. We tend to take things as very one-dimensional when we're a very dimensional society.
Absolutely.
We come from different cultures and backgrounds and understanding, and, you know, we all have different experiences, and so we have got to get to a point where we are curious instead of jumping to a conclusion.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what makes us different from the animals. We have a brain, right? We have a brain that we need to use in order to be able to get a fuller understanding, because this life is more than one dimension, to your point.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I think often of Jill Scott's song. She said, "If I gave you diamonds from my own womb," you know, these are I'm giving diamonds. And while I know I didn't appreciate what happened to me as far as being thrown on the bus, nobody does.
Of course,
but the one thing I did learn about it is sometimes we got to shut our pie holes, be quiet, go somewhere and sit down for a second. Don't be so quick to just get on Facebook and, they did this and they did that. I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even bring myself to do that. And as a woman of faith, I really had to step back, and I'm like, God, what are you saying to me right now? Because the first thing I wanted to say was, look what they're doing to me. And I was hearing something different from the Spirit. And the Holy Spirit was saying to me, that's not the case. I need you to sit back, and I need you to be quiet, and I need you to let me vindicate you. Because see, you want to go out there and you want to get on Facebook and you want to get on Twitter and you want to get on all these different pieces of media to tell your story, and there is no story to tell right now.
Right.
And the story is
you're in the midst of it.
Yeah. You know, in the midst of the storm, and truly it was walking through hell with gasoline drawers on. It really was, because when I thought it was over, here comes more. And literally, I'm finding what did not break me at the moment. It really brought me to a moment. And it brought me to a moment of, first, self-care. You got to know what you stand for at the end of the day.
Yep.
You got to know what you stand for. 2, don't ever let anybody else speak for you. You speak for you. Trembling, scared, or whatever, you speak for you. Your voice matters.
Yes.
3, some things just don't need an answer. It doesn't. Not until you think about it. Think about it. Don't be so quick to just jump up and say something.
Yeah.
But think about it. Even the Bible encourages us to think before we say something. And then I couldn't be angry, because literally it came to serve me. It literally came to serve me. Well, how did it come to serve you? I never had my name out there like it was out there. It was just hanging out there. It literally was. I had everybody and their mama looking me up.
Wow.
And what people saw was my artwork.
Right.
Now, you say, how can, with that one book you did trumped everything else you did? Oh, no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Right.
If I planted 100 fields of corn and only one piece of corn or one field failed, I've done very well. I've got 99 fields that worked really good for me.
Right. That's your rate of return is doing pretty darn good.
I think so. I think so.
99%.
There you go. The Bible says, even let the wheat and the tear grow together till my day of separation. So the day of separation will come, because I'm not wanting to throw other people under the bus, even though I was thrown under the bus. I'm not willing to do that. Not willing to do that.
Right. But it's not for you to do.
No, it's not.
Right? Like you said, it's really for God. God really needs to fight our battles, and sometimes we have to go through to get to the other side anyway.
Yes.
Right? We have to go through to get to the other side.
Absolutely. These are the ingredients he needed to make you you. If you have been a person who was abused, if you've been a person who has lost much, you're sitting there looking, going, oh, my God, I've lost this, I've lost that, I was taken by this and I was taken by that one, and you really just want to throw all your eggs in the basket and say, life is just not worth it, it was unfair to me or whatever. But if we take those moments and build on them. Well, how do I build on them? First, what doesn't kill you fattens you for the journey. See, because now, if you've been a woman who was raped or molested, a man who's lost his job or lost his virginity at a time he didn't want to lose it. Now you have something to share with somebody else who may be going through the same thing you're going through, because you know what? People don't want to hear about your successes. They want to hear about the hell and fire and brimstone you've been through and why you're not smelling like smoke.
Right, because we all go through it, and we want to hear about other people's stories, see how they got through.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, to see how they got through. And sometimes, and this is coming to me when you were talking a little bit earlier, when I was saying you have to go through to get through, I was literally thinking of when the Israelites were going across the Jordan, right? And they were like, well, how are we supposed to get there with this water? And we've got these, the armies chasing us. And they went into the water, and God parted the sea, and he does the same thing for us.
Yes.
It looked like hell, to your point. You've got on gasoline drawers going through the flames, right?
That's right.
But God.
But God.
That's what it looks like at the moment, but you don't see that the whole time he's hosing you down with water.
Absolutely.
You're walking through it. He needed
to create this moment for you, because some of us are
see what you're made of.
Yes.
Because that moment when you're going through is squeezing you, and whatever is inside of you is coming out.
Right.
Whatever is inside of you is coming out, and there's stuff that needs to be taken out anyway. There's stuff that needs to come out in order for you to empty that, to be able to be filled up again with what it is that he needs you filled up with.
There you go.
So sometimes you have to go through, because it makes you face those demons you would never face.
Now, there you go. That will preach by itself right there. That will preach by itself right there. I mean, literally, why do I go through, or why am I going through these things? And they are to build you and to make you into the person. Kirk Franklin does this little video where he says, if you take butter and you just eat butter by itself, that's nasty. If you just take, certain ingredients by themselves, that's nasty. But if you put them all together, you can make a cake. And that somebody else can eat from that cake is an awesome thing. So don't despise these moments when you've made some bad decisions or you've gotten yourself into some situations. We all have done this. I mean, in a person alive that has not made a mistake or has not been in a situation. But even what the devil meant for evil, God can take it and turn it around and make it good.
Absolutely. And tell me about that. So how did he take this moment and make it for good for you?
I will tell you that I went to New York. My agent actually called me and said, I need you to come in. And this was right after everything had jumped off. So I said, I'm not coming near New York.
Right.
My people in Brooklyn, my people in Newark and Jersey, I was feeling some kind of way. I really was. And she said, no, you are coming to New York. And I was like, I don't want to come to New York at this time. And she said, you have to come because the editors want to see you. Now, if you know anything about publishing, you will know as an illustrator, I don't get carte blanche just to publish a book or just whatever. So where this book is concerned, you really need to go to the source. You really need to go to Scholastic and ask them what happened. Yes. But I will tell you that I went to New York, and my agent had set up these different visits to Random House and Simon & Schuster and a couple of other big publishers that I've worked with before. And a lot of people were telling me, your career is washed up and nobody will ever work with you again. Well, I'm here to tell you, God opened doors that nobody can close. If I tell you, I walked away not with one book deal, not with 2 book deals, but 3 book deals I walked away with. 2 of which I get to do on my own book. I get to tell a different story to children. And that is a story not of slavery, which is important, and not of civil rights, which is also important. I've done books like that. But I get to tell a little girl or a little boy that they can be an astronaut, that you can be a musician, that you can be a scientist, that you can be anything you want to be. And so I get to tell my own stories now. And that's the blessing in this. What looked like it was dead and burnt up and just finished, God took it and turned it around and opened doors for me.
Wow.
So where am I? I am grateful. I am so grateful it's not even funny. I am grateful. And I'm here to tell you, if God did it for me, He will do it for you.
Yep.
I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you've done. Some of us, we got stuff in our closets, and we wouldn't tell God if God didn't know.
That's the truth, girl. He knows it all.
He knows it all.
Yeah.
But He's the God of not just the second, the third, the 120th, the 50th. He's the God of a second chance.
Yes.
And we all get to get a real nice do-over, all of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We get to get this do-over. And God gave me a do-over. And I'm telling you, I'm running with it. I'm running everywhere with this bad boy.
Absolutely. And you know what? I know you know this, right? It probably wouldn't have even happened this way had you not gone through it the way you did. Because had you not shut your mouth, like you said, and just sat there and let God handle it, you didn't have to go around that mulberry bush again. I mean, my God, how many people can attest to that?
Amen.
There's some trees that I've got tunnels going around because I haven't learned my lesson. I got friggin' tunnels, right? But you know what I mean? But you were able to learn that lesson. And girl, please, I got chipmunks. But you learned that lesson, and look at what came through on the other side. He not only blessed you once, he didn't bless you twice. He tripled the blessing.
He tripled it. He
tripled the blessing. So here's the other thing that I want to ask you now, because now that you've been able to come through that, and my God, there's so much that you've learned that you even shared just naturally telling us now some of the things that you learned. How you help other people through that, what you went through?
My goodness.
How are you able to help others now?
If I tell you, I am able to talk to a bunch of people now that I might not have been able to talk to. Because like I said, people see your success, and people don't want to hear about your success. They really don't. People who are trying to get to that next level, they're all struggling. They're all struggling, and they want to know, how do I get through the struggle? What did you do, Vanessa, on the days when I cried? I mean, I literally cried from February to maybe the middle of May. I cried. Mm-hmm. I found time to cry. And literally in my meditation and praying, I heard the Lord say, He said, it's time to dry your tears. Because you're going through it. And that's the key word, through it. Yeah. You're going through it. You didn't come here to stay. This is not where we're going to stay. We're not going to sit here and we're going to feel sorry for ourselves and cry and why me and all that kind of stuff. This came to serve you. And it came to serve you so that you're able to now tell a generation a different story. Yeah. Tell them how you got through this. What got you through? Singing songs. There's my voice again. Singing songs. Writing stories.
Yep.
Finding different ways to create different types of art. I would not be the person I am right now if I had not gone through what I just went through.
Yes. Yes.
I have such a heart of compassion towards people who have made mistakes, because we can be so judgmental of folk.
Yeah.
And not know their story and not know why. You know, you can talk about the woman who's swinging on a pole or sliding down a pole, but you don't know her story.
That's right.
You don't know her story. You don't know what she meant. The guy who's standing there selling drugs, you don't know their story.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And sometimes we just need to stop just a moment, just to listen to them. And in return, them listen to us. I got a story, too. See, I lost a baby. I buried a baby, me and my husband. She would have been 18, her birthday. And at the time when I was going through that, I'm laying on the table in the hospital and listening to all these people rejoicing around me, having their babies, and my room was dead silent. An empty room, dead baby, and making funeral arrangements for my baby. Yeah. And I could not understand. I'm like, God, how does this serve you? How does this serve me? I'm going home to a Winnie the Pooh room with no poo to bring home. I have no poo to bring home. What do I do? And it was years before the light came on, and I understood when I sat in front of a couple who had just lost their baby. And I was able to pour into them. And when she felt like I can't go on anymore, to tell her tomorrow, you know what, the sun might not shine today, but baby, it's going to shine tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or the day after, and you will be okay. You will be all right. I didn't think I would be all right. I really didn't. But here I am, Frederica. Here I am. Many years later, I got a 16-year-old that's planning to get ready to go to college now.
Yes, Lord. Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we could ever ask, think, or hope.
Yes.
But we got to ask. And to be able to sit there with these parents who have lost, to be able to sit there with a business owner who feels like I failed in such a way, to tell me you can get up and begin again.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And we have to take another break. This is good stuff, though, girl. So, Vanessa, I want you to tell people how they can connect with you.
Yes, absolutely. You can reach me on my website at VanessaBrantleyNewton.com, or I would love for you to visit my blog at Ooh La La Design Studio. That's OOHLALA DesignStudio.com.
Awesome. Okay. And we are listening to Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica, and I'm here today with my guest, Vanessa Brantley Newton. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, this is Frederica Peterson of Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica, and I want to share an empowering moment with you about the power of choice. With dreams come vision, and with vision comes choices. Every choice you make will either draw you closer or further away from the vision you have for your life, your career, your relationships. The list goes on. Being intentional about the steps you take to get closer to the things you want comes down to one small thing: choices. So here are 5 basic principles about choices. 1, everyone has the power to choose. 2, you wake up every day with a choice. 3, excuses are just that. A choice is a choice. 4, what a difference a choice makes. And 5, if you didn't have a choice, who'd you give it to? These are thoughts to live by, and this has been Frederica Peterson of Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica. You can catch my show right here every Monday at 5 p.m.
And we're back. You're listening to Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica, and I'm here with my guest today, Miss Vanessa Brantley Newton, and we are talking about everything. We're talking about her book. We're talking about her journey. We're talking about how she ministers to people through her own trials, and man, oh man, we are coming to the kind of the end of the program, which I can't believe it's going so fast. But I want to give you a moment to talk about this a little bit, because when people, those that have seen your artwork and those that will now be connected to your artwork because they're listening to you on this radio show, which I highly recommend and urge you to go out and check out Vanessa's stuff. You have never seen anything like it. And you are an amazing, amazing, amazing artist, Vanessa. Your style is so unique. Where do you draw your inspiration from?
I literally go back into my childhood. As a kid, like I said, I knew I wanted to draw from the time I was a child. And children often tell us who they want to be when they're small. We just don't want to listen. We just don't want to listen to it. You know, when they're tearing up your stuff and everything and trying to figure out how to work it, he might be trying to tell you I'm a scientist or an inventor or, you know, a Mr. Fix-It. I don't know. But I drove my poor parents crazy. But TV was such a expression for me. The cartoons back then were, while they were created for children, they really weren't created for children. They were very well designed. And I loved it.
I still enjoy them today. I enjoy them today.
And I loved it. I loved it. And so I watched a lot of Fred Flintstone and Huckleberry Hound and Felix the Cat and my favorite, Bugs Bunny. And I would watch these.
You gotta say Bugs Bunny, man.
Bugs Bunny every day, all day.
That's my dude.
But I studied these things from a kid, and because I was dyslexic, I found that drawing was my way to express myself. I stuttered really, really bad as a kid. And so my parents taught me to sing, because you can't sing and stutter at the same time. But when I couldn't sing, I know, right? When I couldn't sing, I would draw. and that was my way to express myself. And so I'm always going back to that little girl who was infatuated with Bullwinkles and Mr. Peabody and all these different cartoons. And so it's a happy place for me. And so when I draw from a very happy place. It comes from a place of, I want to give you as an adult who might not have seen yourself in pictures, I want to give you back a moment. I want you to be moved by a moment. And what I hear from most people is that your artwork moves me, and sometimes moves me to tears. I have more people. I've had grown men tell me, I have never been so moved as I was by looking at a piece of the artwork that you do. And it's nothing fancy. It really isn't. Yeah. It's not like some gorgeous painting you'll see in some museum, but it is a piece of me. It's a piece of my spirit. And all I want to do is bring light and love. I want to make you feel some kind of way when you look at my artwork.
Okay, and it does. I know there's many pieces, but I'll see them when you post. I'll see them in the morning, and I'll just chuckle to myself, or that just makes me smile on the inside, or, it's just, it takes you, it transports you somewhere else. So the joy that you feel comes through in the illustration. It comes through. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love making people feel. I love when you tell me that, Frederica. I love when you tell me that, because now I know that it's working. It's doing what it does. So many people have called me and said, you'll never know until you get to heaven how you inspire me through our work.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
One of my goals in life is to be able to have like a huge poster that you have done for me.
That's a done deal already. Just send me your address. That's all I need. I'll put it in the mail.
Girl, I'm going to send it to you.
Please do. I'm so serious. Yes.
Oh, my God. Vanessa's stuff, you guys, you don't know. Her stuff is just amazing. Amazing. You haven't even seen the tip of it yet. Not even the tip of the iceberg.
They haven't. Not at all.
No, they haven't. Which is so exciting to me, It's so exciting. There's a woman I absolutely, I'm on the show, and here I am connecting people, but there's a woman that I want to connect you with that has been on this show. Her name is Laditra White, and she does these Facebook ambushes, but this woman is so dynamic, and somehow I'm feeling like the two of you need to be connected, and I'm going to make that happen.
All right.
I'm going to make that happen. And I'm holding myself accountable because I've just now told a few thousand people that I have just held myself accountable to doing that. So those of you that know Laditra, just let her know I did that. Oh, man, the two of you have got to connect. I don't know why, but the two of you have got to connect.
Will do.
But tell me, before we wrap up, and I know you have definitely given some people some words of encouragement out there, not to give up and so forth, but you've got some projects coming up. I know you do.
Yes.
So what is on the horizon? Where should we be looking for you? What's coming next? All that good stuff. And Vanessa will be at my conference in the fall, you guys, so just keep
looking forward to that.
And watch. She will be there. But go ahead. Yeah, what do you got going? What else do you have coming up?
So I will tell you that I am working on my own children's books now with some wonderful publishing houses, Penguin Books, as well as Random House. I am working on some children's books with them, and my first one is called Grandma's Purse. And I'm so excited about this little book. This is for your 3 to 5-year-old, and I can't wait till it hits the stores. But I'm working on the artwork for it right now. And then I am also working on a book called Jules. And Jules is a take on the modern-day Madeline. If you know anything about Ludwig
oh my God, I love
Bellman, yes. Madeline, this is the black Madeline. Her name is Jules. And I'm so excited about it. I get people's reactions are amazing and priceless when they hear that I'm doing this. Because, of course, it is in a brownstone in Harlem that had many stairs, lived 6 little sisters with braids in their hair. So that's how it started.
That is too cool, because Madeline was a French, right? Wasn't she a little French?
Yes.
Girl, yeah, I remember. I have that book. I still got that book somewhere, I'm sure.
I have a whole collection of it. I love the book, and it's just that as a child, and especially for African American children, they don't get to see themselves in books, and this is why diversity is so important in children's books. Our babies must see themselves, and I'm not talking about just the black child. I'm talking about the mixed child, the child who has a white parent and a black parent, or Hispanic parent and an Asian parent. They need to see themselves in books. Yeah, they do. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. That's good. I can't wait for this stuff to come out, girl. And they can check all your stuff out on your website. They can check out all that stuff on my website. Also, easy to do. Just type in Vanessa Brantley Newton. Everything will come up about the George Washington's birthday cake book, and it'll show you all my artwork. Oh, that's awesome. That is perfect. Yeah, so make sure you all do that. Google Vanessa. Go in there and check out her stuff. You can also click to her from my website as well, because she'll be up there also. So that'll be good. Man, oh, man. So, Vanessa, I'm going to give you a minute to share anything that's on your heart right now that you want to share with the listeners, because you have been really inspirational. I will tell you that what does not break you as a person is there to make you. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what you're going through. You have a decision to make, and that is this decision to either get busy living or get busy dying. And how we do that is you declare over yourself, today is my day to change my life, to change my world. Yeah. And you start doing small things, not big things. You don't have to take a big chunk out, but do little small things to bring not just change, because change implies that you can go back and do what you were doing before. You want to be transformed. And so transformation is a whole other egg. And so let's do little things to transform our lives. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That is good stuff. Little things, small things. It doesn't have to be this huge, big step. Tiny steps will get you to the goal. I like it. That's right. I like it. That's right. Vanessa, it has been so incredibly phenomenal having you on the show. I can't even find all the words that I want to say. But it's been so awesome having your energy on this show, girl, because it's just been such a long time we've known each other, and I love to be able to expose folks that I know are, people may not always come across you, you know what I mean? Yes. And so I just wish you continued success. I can't wait till you're blowing up. And, you know, man, oh, man, I'm walking through art galleries, checking out your stuff. I'm so excited for you. And, man, I can't wish you more success than what's in my heart. I'm telling you, I'm just so happy for you. Thank you, and I'm so wishing you the very same, and even more, because you have something in your mouth that's going to heal so many people and bring them to success. Vanessa, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
Listeners, I encourage you to reach out to me on my Facebook page at Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica. Here you can participate in discussions or find information on upcoming shows. I encourage you to visit my new website, www.shiftingtheatmosphere.net. Here you'll find information about upcoming shows and events and have access to past shows. Be sure to pick up my best-selling book, Breakthrough Leadership, available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and iBooks. Until next time, be well and be blessed.